Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Mayank and I'm a recent graduate from HEC Paris and now I work at an early stage tech startup right here in Paris. So, are you a business school student or are you gonna be one soon or are you planning on being one? In this video, I'm gonna talk to you about the importance of having a personal brand in this day and age, especially as a business school student, and how having this YouTube channel has got me access to opportunities that I just would not have got otherwise, including the job that I have right now. So, it was in 2019 that I read the book Platform by Cynthia Johnson, and that's what gave me this idea that having a personal brand is extremely important for my career. One of the key ideas in the book was this, and I totally stand by it. Today, everyone has a personal brand online, whether you like it or not. People are going to be searching for you on social media, on Instagram, on Google, on LinkedIn, wherever they can basically find any information about you, because they want to create some kind of a perception on who you are. And they're gonna do this whether you like it or not. And a lack of presence online is also a personal brand. It's just one that says that you don't care enough about having a presence online. Essentially, a personal brand is basically people's perception of you online or even offline. The purpose of having an online personal brand is to be able to shape and control this perception yourself, without leaving it up to interpretation or just chance, essentially. In 2021, I can tell you this. If you're a business school student or you're trying to make a career in marketing or in entrepreneurship, it's not anymore a question of whether you have a personal brand or not. It's about what your personal brand is, whether online or offline, and how much of an influence you're able to have on the people connecting with your brand. Look, if you want to be a doctor or an engineer or even go into finance or consulting, you generally have tangible ways of proving your worth as an entry-level or a first-time employee. There are tests and other standardized ways of demonstrating your skills to kind of like convince employers to hire you, especially if it's your first job. But if you want to work in marketing, you want to work in the startup scene, something more entrepreneurial, it's really hard to show that you're the right person for the job just through your CV and your cover letter. It's for this reason why so many people have trouble getting through even a CV screening. And even interviews for these positions are more perception-based, they're more subjective, they're more personal, or they're just more soft as compared to interviews for these other positions where, there's a very solid technical round that you have to get through. Essentially, people are hiring you based on the feeling that they get after talking to you and by looking at your profile. And that's what makes it so complicated and so unpredictable about whether you're gonna get a job or not. Essentially, people are looking to make a perception of you. And what's the thing that's gonna shape this perception of you? Your personal brand. Look, the barrier to entry right now of being a creator is as low as being able to buy a smartphone. And if you're watching this video today, you probably have a smartphone or a laptop, if not both. So I think in the future, there's gonna be creators and non-creators. And creators are gonna have an edge over non-creators when it comes to getting opportunities, especially at the entry level. When you're a creator, it's easy to tell who you are, what your personality is like, what are your potential strengths and weaknesses. And it's just easier to build trust because you actually have something to show for yourself, rather than just talking about how passionate you are about doing something or working at a particular company or doing a particular job. This is key to convincing someone that you're the right person to give that job or internship to, especially early on in your career when you haven't had much experience to prove yourself through those experiences. Because, a lot of times having had past experiences essentially just tells your future employers that you were good enough to be hired by X, Y, and Z company, so you're probably going to be good enough to be hired by this company. That's what past experiences pretty much stand for. But, I think at the entry level especially, this whole, you need experience to get an internship or job, and then you need a job or internship to get that experience. So this whole chicken and egg catch-22, I think this frustration is kind of like an excuse for not being proactive enough to go out and create something of your own. Because, you don't need anyone's permission to be a creator. You don't need anyone's permission to go start that project. And being a creator can mean anything. It can mean starting a YouTube channel, a podcast, Instagram Reels, a TikTok profile, making a blog, making a website, or like starting a business. It can be anything. You just need to create something that delivers value to an audience. And when you're able to create and deliver value, that's when you can confidently pitch yourself to employers, even if you don't have any formal work experience before. Alright, now let me talk about some of the opportunities that I've got as pretty much a direct result of creating this YouTube channel. But before that, first of all, I just want to say how thankful I am to you guys, because all these opportunities and all these things that I'm about to tell you, they've only happened because of you, because of your constant support on my channel so far. So thanks a lot for that. I cannot be more grateful. So more than a year ago, last May, when I first started making these videos, I pretty much had two main objectives for this channel over the following 1 year. The first one was that I wanted to create some kind of an impact on students looking to get into business school, particularly HEC Paris or like the top 3 schools in France. I could see this opportunity where there was literally no content about HEC Paris or even ESSEC or ESCP online, and there were tons and tons of people searching for information on this, because I was getting so many LinkedIn messages from people asking me questions, and that just kind of clicked in my head that, you know what, I could make videos answering these questions instead of replying back to individual messages, because that way I'd be able to impact potentially thousands of people at once rather than just one person at a time. The second objective, however, was that I wanted to grow this channel into something which I could show employers a year later, because I knew that I wanted to work in digital marketing, and having a YouTube channel with an established audience, established content that I'd grown myself would be pretty much the best proof that I could give to any employer that I'm the right person to do digital marketing for them. And because of that first reason I told you, I realized that I had this really strong opportunity where I kind of figured out like this niche or this need in the market, if you can say that, where I knew that if I made really great videos on this topic, it would grow. There was no way that it would not. So that's why I decided that if I'm going to do this, I'm going to be posting consistently every single week, because I knew that's the way to grow on YouTube. And I just wanted to see how far it would take me. So the first and I guess the biggest way that YouTube helped me was in building a network. When I went back to campus last September for my M2 year, it was absolutely wild for me when people recognized me at gatherings, whenever I walked on campus, when I went to the grocery store, there's one time on a bus. And even recently, I was hiking in Etretat, which is not even in Paris, it's on the coast of France. And one guy tapped my shoulder and he was like, "Hey, are you Mayank from YouTube?" I was like, oh man, that's insane. I never imagined that something like that would happen to me even like 1 year ago. That's totally wild. So it turned out that a lot of students on campus had watched my videos over the summer before coming. And because of that, it was just so much easier for me to talk to people, because we already had this point to connect on. And funnily enough, most of these people already knew so much about me before I even met them. So that led to some really interesting conversations, because we didn't have to spend time getting to know each other. The conversation just flowed a lot better. And so I also took advantage of this and leveraged LinkedIn to connect with even more people outside of the HEC campus, which was tremendously powerful because I got some really cool opportunities to work on projects which I just would not have got otherwise. And these opportunities came in like inbound. They came to me rather than me searching for them. The second thing was friendships. Some of these inbound connections and conversations even led to friendships. Recently, for example, I became friends with Joshua. He has his own YouTube channel as well. I'm going to link it in the description below. He reached out to me on Instagram DM saying that, "Hey, I'm also a YouTuber and a creator in Paris. I'd love to connect." And we hung out, we got a drink, and we just became friends after that. And recently, actually just this weekend, me and him went to this Indian restaurant. We had some kotu parota. It was absolutely amazing. And he's not the only one. I've met other friends and acquaintances through Instagram and LinkedIn, because people reach out to me because they see my videos on YouTube and we're able to connect. When you're passionate about something, when you're a creator, you share, right? Like-minded people just come out of the woodwork, because they identify that you're interested in the same thing because you share about it, and then they share their passion with you, and then you can just connect, and it's amazing. Also, I'd say that YouTube was a big factor in me getting my job right now, because it was basically proof to the company that I can grow something. If I could grow my own channel and create my own community and build this audience through great content and a great strategy, I could probably do the same for them. But yeah, of course, it wasn't the only thing that got me the job, but I know it was a big factor, because it made my profile much stronger than it would have been without it. It's also something that just impresses employers when you just send it to them. And, even irrespective of the number of subscribers you have, when they see that you've put up, like, say, 35 videos the last 1 year, once a week, it shows consistency, it shows discipline, it shows that you can pick up a project and actually see through it. And these are all great things to communicate. The proof is in the pudding. And finally, I think the biggest impact that YouTube has had on me has been on my confidence. Building this audience and creating this personal brand has definitely helped me become way more confident, because I'm now surrounding myself with like-minded people. I'm learning a lot of new things. I'm sharing things that I've learned, and it's just great. Every time I get a message or a comment from someone saying that my videos were able to help them out, whether it is to get inspired or to get into HEC, or, it just makes me feel like, yeah, my first objective in making this channel has been achieved, and it feels great. So I don't even care if this channel grows bigger or not. It's just something that I do which makes me feel good, and that's the best reason for me to do it. Seriously though, even if you have just a smartphone, there's literally no reason for you right now to not start creating content or making any kind of a project. Like, just go do something. Even if it doesn't grow, you're gonna learn a lot, and that's gonna help you a lot when you're applying to jobs. Or even if you have a channel with very few subscribers, that's still better than having no channel and no content up there, because at least you've done something. And whatever happens, you're always gonna learn a lot, and you're gonna have something to show employers. So like, there's literally no reason for you to not do it. So yeah, I hope this video gives you a good idea of why I think having a personal brand and having some kind of a project online is important, especially if you're a business school student wanting to get into marketing or entrepreneurship, or even otherwise actually. Honestly, I think a lot of this just applies to any kind of career that you're trying to build. And by giving you very transparently the ways that YouTube's helped me grow, I hope I'm able to convince you to go do the same for yourself. All right, see you guys in the next one.